With that, let's get up to M&T Bank Stadium.
Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor and M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between our visitors and the Baltimore Ravens. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now a play fake here on first down. Rolling to his right. He'll try and he'll be forced out of bounds shy of the line of scrimmage, so that'll be credited as a sack. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson rolling to his left. He's going to take off with it. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And picked up by the Chargers. And now off to the races down the right side. And he takes it back to the house. It's a fumble recovery and a Charger touchdown. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Baltimore coming back out here on offense. Charles, unfortunately for the Ravens this year, it just feels like a failure. Yes, the 14 wins in the regular season, but that divisional round loss to Tennessee, such a shocker, really stunned everybody in the NFL.
It certainly did, and I know exactly what you're saying when you say it feels like a failure, yet you don't want to say it, do you?
Yeah, I know.
I mean,
at the end of it, he's stripped. Ball comes loose.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
They go play action here on first down. Letting one. Got a man. It's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Willie Snead there to make the grab as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Justin Tucker for the extra point. Tucker with the extra point, and we are tied at 7. Well, it wasn't a one-play drive, but I think they'll take it. The scoring summary, 2 plays and into the end zone. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So Rivers will lead the Chargers up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Throwing Rivers. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. A well-executed 22-yard gain. A nice little completion there by Phillip Rivers. And you and I were reading the article yesterday, 5th grade. Rivers had to do a project where he had to make a poster about his dreams and aspirations. So he clipped out a football player from a magazine article and pasted his face on the helmet. That's what he wanted to be, and it turned out okay.
Not so bad at all. Remember, he's the son of a coach. And on that play, I think he made the old coach proud with that completion.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Now a hit, and Rivers lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, these are going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
Buying time to his left. And now a fumble. The ball's out.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Patrick on Russell. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
Forced out to his left. And now he's going to use his legs. Oh, fighting off the defender. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
Fights off the defender, and that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. 6 yards in the wrong direction that time. Not only that, but it brings up 4th. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play caller, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy's disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, they may have to devote at least a second guy to him to try and keep him away from their plays.
Now on 4th down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. So, Charles, why in the world do you take that risk there?
It doesn't make a whole lot of sense on the surface. But I've been around enough of these coaches and enough of these meetings along the way. Sometimes they're so confident in a play call that they don't care about the situation. They think that that play, at that time, they're going to run it and pick up whatever they need. So maybe that's what influenced him there. I'm guessing because I have no other explanation.
Yeah, that's tough. Own side of the field, that chunk of yardage to pick up. Head scratcher. Rivers. Complete. Hunter Henry with a grab. That'll be a gain of 16, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players now. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. To throw is Rivers. And it'll be intercepted. Tyus Bowser with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, they thought they were going to break the tie. The defense had other plans. They were already in field goal range, but boom, an interception.
I don't know if this was a case of being a little bit too greedy with the opportunity to put points on the board, but give credit to the guys on the defensive side. Hung in there, battled, and made a key play.
And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. Roberts got it. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here.
Offense.
Now those linemen, of course, can't be more than a yard downfield when a pass is thrown, and they might have been able to call that on a couple of guys there.
Let's go now. 60 out long. Get that quarterback.
On second down, Jackson flushed out right. And he's going to keep it here. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 11 yards there, first down. These two teams all tied after one. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. On the counter, Ingram. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Call it a loss of 6 on the play. And it'll make this a second and long. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll go as a loss of 5. And they're going to be staring at a third and long here.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Throwing is Jackson. They go screen. This is Ingram. And he'll be brought down at the 34, well short of the first down marker. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a fourth and long. Here we go on fourth down with Jackson. He shakes him off. But in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. The former number 3 pick, Joey Bosa, bringing the lumber that time. So shall we say a bold decision to go for it, and that bold decision does not pay off.
And when you talk about bold, you're saying all caps?
All caps.
Yeah, without a doubt. Maybe they're telling their defense they have a lot of faith in them. I mean, that's how you have to spin it, is that you tell your defense, you know something? We were able to go for it there because you guys are so good. I'm not worried about things. That's the only explanation I can come up with in this situation.
Well, he better get ready to spin it for that post-game presser because you know he's going to be out.
He's going to have to spin it for his own locker room, frankly.
Rivers, and that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete. Keenan Allen, the intended receiver, but it'll be second and goal. Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, second and goal.
You got three down.
Throwing, Rivers, and this is going to be intercepted. Tyus Bowser with a pick, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, partner, let's put a bow on the Super Bowl for Kansas City. What a comeback win. Yet another come-from-behind victory for Patrick Mahomes and company. An absolute heartbreak for San Francisco.
Didn't Madden predict Kansas City would win the game?
Yes, 35-31, I believe they predicted.
I felt like most of the predictions I saw had the game in the 30s, so a little bit lower scoring than we expected, but a lot of fireworks down the stretch, all by Kansas City. But how about San Francisco? Had the lead in the ball, under 12 minutes to go, and held Kansas City to 10 points through 3 quarters. And somehow they're winging their way back to San Francisco, trying to understand how they lost that game.
Yeah, not only did Kansas City win it, but they end up winning it by 11 points. They didn't see that coming at all. From the 36, Jackson.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play. It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on third down. Jackson throwing here, complete to Boyle. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there. To throw again is Jackson. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. A gain of 6 there on first. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. Roberts has it, and he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. Jackson will throw again. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Ravens have taken the lead. Tucker now for the extra point. That's an old-fashioned death march there, partner. Took them a lot of plays, but hey, they did the job.
And the defense always preaches getting off the field, making a play, and turning it back over to their own offense. Unable to do so. A long, sustained drive by the offense.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. As the Chargers come back out here offensively, you think about what happened this past season, and look, the only word to describe it, really disappointing. This was a team that finished 12-4 last year, won a wild card game, expected to be contenders in the AFC West, if not the AFC period. But they start 2-5, Charles, and 5-11 all told. That really threw cold water on any ambitions they may have had. And
how many times does it feel like we've seen the Chargers start 2-5? But have a big finish and are contenders for a playoff spot, if not getting into them. So to me, the big story was they didn't close like they normally do. The 2-5 start actually led the way to a true 5-11 season. Very unusual for them, and now let's move it forward.
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence, that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while. What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to... This is caught inside the 15. They chalk that one up as a gain of 34 on third down. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Rivers. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Tony Jefferson. With that incompletion, a chance to mention the awards. Now with the season over, Lamar Jackson, as we speculated, he's the MVP, Coach of the Year. John Harbaugh, Lamar's coach. Michael Thomas, Stephon Gilmore, Offensive and Defensive Players of the Year. Offensive and Defensive Rookies of the Year. That went to Kyler Murray and Nick Bosa. And the Comeback Player of the Year, Charles, Ryan Tannehill. No surprise there. Not to mention the #1 award that the NFL gives out, the one that they give the most, that credence isn't the right word, the most attention to, and the one that they want trumpeted the most. That's the Walter Payton Manning. Look at the big man rumble! And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered. How did they get that done? And they extend their lead, a little added cushion into the lockers. What a way to finish. Tremendous way. That's momentum that they carry in with them. Can they convert it? We now proceed to the start of the second half. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken short, and he'll very wisely take a knee here as they'll bring this one out to the 25 on the touchback. Phillip Rivers now gears up to lead the offense on the field. Any surprise in your mind he's out there to start the second half after 4 first-half interceptions? He used to be surprised by a lot of things, partner, but in this case I'm not, because you know they want him to be their guy. And the only way to truly establish that is to give him a chance to work through some of the issues he had in the first half. Fresh out of the locker room, they hit him with a gain of over 20. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game. I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there. Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion. What's that? It wasn't an interception. Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. And he is finally brought down at the Ravens' 21-yard line. Nothing too fancy there, a simple toss left, but for whatever reason, the defense, they didn't seem ready for it. Let me continue on with your thought right there, because after the play was over, I kept my eyes on the defenders. Watch them get off the ground, going back to the huddle, shaking their heads, and kind of pointing to each other. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. A 21-yard touchdown run, as his guys are back within a single score. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game. And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done. They're going to give it to Gordon. And he will find the end zone again. So he gets the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. And that'll cut this deficit down a little bit further. So here comes the kickoff. And what now is just a one-score, 6-point game. This will be taken in at the 1. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And picked up by the Chargers. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secure. And a lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up first and goal.
Partner, we've seen Melvin Gordon do it a variety of ways running the football. How about that last run? Had a little shake and bake to it there, didn't he?
He did.
Kind of reminded me of when he was at Wisconsin and what he did in Nebraska. His last year there, 408 yards in a single game. At that time, that was the NCAA rushing record, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then a week later, Samaje Perine broke his record with 427 yards against Kansas. First and goal, Melvin Gordon. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Chargers. Melvin Gordon, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And now they can recapture the lead if they can make the PAT. Nice execution there. Good job by the O-line getting him in for the second time.
And you always have to start with credit there when you're having a big game. I mean, you don't get there by yourself. That's rare. But how about the ability to see the proper holes, pick the proper place to go, and find his way into the end zone? Well, partner, since this new two-point rule came into play, offenses spend a lot more time working on it. That means the defenses are doing the exact same thing.
A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And picked up by the Chargers. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Thomas Davis. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. Let's get to some Hall of Fame talk while we have a second, because last week we mentioned the 15 guys that we knew were going into the Hall. 5 added: Isaac Bruce, Steve Hutchinson, Edgerrin James, Steve Atwater, and Troy Polamalu. You think about it, CD. For Polamalu, it was his first year of eligibility. People knew he would go in. Atwater was his 16th year. He had to wait a long time.
He certainly did, and I often wonder about the psychology of it all, because when you're young in your career, meaning young retired, right, these things mean something to you, but I don't know if they hit with the same impact as it will for Steve Atwater. 16th year. Now, I think Steve would like somewhere to be a happy medium. Maybe the 8th year would be a lot better. But the bottom line is, the older you get, boy, imagine the emotions running through there, the validation, probably haven't had the applause in a long time. That's going to come back to you now. Troy Polamalu, he essentially stepped off the field and into the Hall of Fame, but it doesn't matter. Bottom line is getting there. Congratulations to all.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And to the 46 he goes and no further, so he is well short of the first down marker. Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down.
Well, the guys who are paid to make the tackles deserve some kudos there, but I think they deserve even bigger ones, because in that situation, they had to be thinking pass. Loosened up defense, go into pass coverage. Instead, maybe they surprised them a little bit running the ball, yet they rallied to it and stopped them well short of a first down.
A 10-yard pickup, but it's enough for a Charger first down. I got to tell you, I'm shocked. When I realized they were running the football at 4th in that distance, I thought that was a surefire throw.
I can hear it in your voice, because I'm the exact same way. No one runs the football in this situation, right? You've got to throw it to have a chance, unless you're them. Talk about supreme confidence bordering on arrogance, and they got it done, keeping the ball on the ground to pick up the first down.
18 big yards on that one, and a Charger first.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
On 1st and 10, Rivers. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Rivers. Now a hit, and Rivers lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. He's got daylight. The 30. 10. And this is going to be brought back for a Baltimore touchdown. So many times tight games decided by one big play. And a lot of times, of course, it's the offense. Here, it's the defense coming up huge.
And you know head coaches walk around locker rooms, walk around bench areas saying, guys, somebody make a play. It's a cliche, but it applies here.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and they will take a 7-point lead. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Melvin Gordon and the Chargers ready for their next possession. He's up over 100 yards, and he'll be looking to get in the end zone again.
Has a tremendous nose for it, doesn't he? The ability to pile up yardage and find the end zone, that's the combination you want in your runner.
That's a combination any coach wants, and we'll see if he can find that end zone once more. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. This is Gordon as they go to him again. And takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
He's got the first down and more past midfield. And he's got it across the 50 to the 47-yard line. 17 yards for the Chargers there as they've got themselves a first down. So following the run by Gordon, here's 1st and 10. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Now Gordon on first down. As he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
And when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
On 2nd down, they'll run with Gordon. Nifty move by Gordon. There he goes left side. And all the way in for a Charger touchdown. Melvin Gordon, 39 yards. As they can now even this game here in the fourth quarter with the extra point.
Well, 3 scores in this game. I think that deserves some type of a broad gesture. I know in hockey, that's called a hat trick, and people throw their hats out on the ice. What about us? What can we do for this guy?
Well, if I'm his teammates, I'm buying him a little steak dinner tonight, right? At least a skirt steak, probably a filet.
Oh, you're going big. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, skirt at minimum,
skirt
filet
steak.
at
Come
maximum.
on. You can't give the guy a skirt steak his first 3 times.
Filet, 10 ounce, 16 ounce.
Porterhouse.
Fine. They didn't want the tie. They roll the dice and they take the lead.
That felt like a tone setter, didn't it? Forget tying the ball game and feeling like we're just hanging with you. We're going to go ahead and push it to a one-point lead, and that just changes the complexion of the whole game.
And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. Credit the sack to Joey Bosa. To try again after the sack. Jackson throwing middle, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Nick Boyle that time. And that takes us from second to third down.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
Dancing to his left. Oh, he faked him with a juke. Now he's got some room. They get a big amount back, 18 yards, but they'll still look at a fourth down now.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on fourth down. They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. And an alley to run. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. A good decision in the end to pull it and run. Gets him 9 yards and a first.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the fourth quarter. If he needs to make those plays when the legs go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain. So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. They run the counter. Ingram, and they can't corral him. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll be a 2nd and long. From midfield now, here's Jackson. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Denzel Perryman coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Now it's Jackson. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown, 57 yards. And the Ravens have retaken the lead. All right, now a big two-point conversion attempt still to come. And he is not going to make it. So they won't be able to move this lead up to a touchdown as it'll remain a 5-point ball game. He had the option, decided to keep it. I don't know that it would have mattered either way, though. Defended pretty well.
It really was, wasn't it? Because option plays are really standard two-point calls, and you have to prep against them, and they did their prep well on that one.
And he'll weave his way up, all the way up, a few yards shy of midfield.
And when you're facing a deficit on the scoreboard, you're just looking for something to get you right back into the game. They got it with that big return.
Rivers gets set to lead. 2:01 remaining. They'll have one play here just north of. They'll start the drive with a run by. We've got a one-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. So it's Charger football as we welcome. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Fighting through it, he's got space. And the 40 to the 39. 7 yards there and a first last run. Now a toss right side. It's Gordon. And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. 8 yards on the ground there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 2. They'll try and run it. Here's Gordon. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as they'll see ticks to go in the football game. All runs on this drive far. It's 1st and 10. Running left, it's Gordon on the toss. And a reinforcement, 3rd and final timeout as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. Well, this has been a good march down the field, but now they're stuck looking at a 2nd and 14. Now a 20th carry, number 20 here for Melvin Gordon. And effective running here. He'll inside the 10. So that one will get him.